Hi guys, my name is Dave Bahari. I am a musician, a content creator and an educator, and I wanted to talk to you today about a topic that's super important to me, and it's about what is a musician, or what can a musician be in 2022. Alright, so basically the reason I'm making this video is because I think there's so much bad information that is there, even now, about what a musician can be. So we look and we see, this massive rise in flexible jobs, flexible working. And it occurred to me that really, certainly, you do the growing up thing, you do the school thing, and it's like very much like, what job are you going to do? And it becomes kind of a bit strange when you sort of say, well, I'm kind of this thing and a bit of this thing and a bit of this thing. And I think it just confuses a lot of people. And so anyway, the reason I'm making this is because I really, really think that, personally, I do my music on the side currently. But obviously I know others where they're making really, really amazing progress while still having other jobs. So it kind of made me think, well, okay, how much, are we being limited just by what's typically the idea of a musician? So if we go to that kind of standard idea, you kind of think of like, that touring, like every day kind of thing. And then you start to think, well, okay, do you need to do that? For a lot of people, that's just not a viable thing, but you can still do music. I think what's come up a lot is certainly, you look at streaming services, and quite commonly it's cited as the evil of the modern musician. And I kind of thought about that. I mean, me personally, I started my project, so my music project, 6 months ago. I've done music, pretty much all my life, but it's only recently I started thinking, okay, how can I sort of make something of this? But, you start to realize that, okay, right, although yes, per stream, if you go on Spotify, per stream you're getting nothing or barely anything. It does add up eventually. But I think it's this idea of, well, okay, if you sort of embrace the media, you start to think, okay, what can I do with it? Then I think it starts to become sort of a more interesting thing. I mean, personally, I love videos, I love the music, I love combining the two. So for me, it's kind of working. Obviously, it's pretty early for me, but I think a lot of people maybe are fitting into this category. And because I think a lot of musicians, certainly that I've talked to myself, say by friends and other people that I've met during events and whatnot, I think we're quite resistant to social. I'm a musician, I will not do social kind of thing. But as with all trends, it's like if you went back and you said, I will refuse to, stop using the tape. And then you kind of stuck with loads of people that are like, well, it's a CD and I'm going to use this. I don't care about what you want. And, so eventually, there is this eventual need to have to sort of modernize and to develop. And I think, certainly for me, I think actually it's a really great time to be a musician, to be a modern musician it's difficult. Like, you have to really think about, okay, how you're going to structure yourself, what are you going to do? But actually, for me, I think this is a great time. I think I'm full of optimism about how we can use media, how we can actually develop. And certainly, that's what I'm doing. I'm having fun with it. Obviously I'm doing this as part of that. But guys, I'm interested to see what you think. Some of you might yourself be modern musicians. Do you think that actually, the rise of social media has kind of made it worse or better? Obviously, now it's much easier to be able to connect with anyone in the world. For me, my personal style, I've kind of got that singer-songwriter with folk vibes. I live in Luxembourg. We're a fairly small country. it's natural that you can't find, you're not going to thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are going to want what you are doing. And then you're going to get to a limit quite soon where sort of all the people that are interested have kind of found you. And then you kind of think, well, okay, what can social do? Well, you can obviously branch out into just places you wouldn't have even imagined. Like, the other day I ended up with a follower in Brazil, which is kind of cool. 2 or 3 actually. How would I ever have reached that person without it? So I think that's really what I'm thinking about. So anyway, guys, leave your comments below. Tell me what you think.